There's just something about a Sunday morning on the Gold Coast that just screams, you know what? Let's run a marathon. The Gold Coast Marathon returned in 2024, Australia's fastest marathon. This is it. If you want to be quick, you come to the Gold Coast. From Japan to the East Africans, they flocked from all over the globe to get to this super fast course to test themselves and see how quickly they can get after it. And they were off and racing. We had 12 sub 2:10 runners at the front of this field. 3:02 pace was on the agenda. Liam Buden and Reece Edwards, they were the two Aussies that decided to go with this leading group. You can see Tom DeCanto and Dave Ridley, they were just off this secondary pack there, but they were still trying to move with a little bit of tempo. And you can see in here, it's the leaders that we have, Teferi as well. In and amongst this big group, Sarah Klein, our leading Australian woman, just tucked herself in beautifully. Didn't have to face the wind, didn't have to take any of it on this fast course. She had Tara Palm alongside her as well. So too, Abby Nordberg. They were able to work together. Millie Clark a little bit further off the back of this initial fast pace, but that's okay. She was class. Reece couldn't quite hold it onto there. 2 hours 10 is his life goal. He'd spoken about it numerous times before this, but that 2 hour 10 pace is fast once you're in it. And you can see Edwards now just start to fracture with a group of two just off the back there. David Ridley as well just started to feel the pinch just a little bit. Reece Edwards, he had no chance but to sit with this bunch just to conserve some energy there. Had to do what he needed to do. But this leading group, have a look at Liam. He just tucked himself in there. Liam Buden, how impressive was this guy? Gold Coast boy, debut marathon. Wanted to put himself in every opportunity to get up there and run quick. And he did exactly that. We go back now to our leading women, and geez, they were ultra impressive. It was Teferi though who felt the pinch, unfortunately, had to step out through the middle stages of this marathon. But this leading group, they didn't need any break. They put all gas on. Nordberg, Palm, Klein, this leading trio of Australian women, ultra impressive through these stages of the marathon. You can see now, Buden, he wants to try and hold that sub 2:10 pace, but clearly just didn't quite have it in his legs here. But goodness, he was impressive. It's Kibet from Uganda. Just couldn't quite maintain. It's hot, it's fast, it's quick. You see Reece Edwards, we mentioned, he couldn't get that 2:10 pace. And they're starting to move here now. We can see that they're starting to move past the 20k mark. It's Klein now. Starts to drop off the rest of these Aussies. Here on debut though, it is Nordberg who just couldn't quite hold with it. Tara Palm as well, couldn't quite hold with this early pace. You can see, here's the fracture. And here they are, this leading group of internationals. I mean, they just go from strength to strength. They wind it up. We mentioned 12 of them are sub 2:10. So there's nothing to say they can't get there. And this was one of the race favourites. It's Koyama of Japan. He just couldn't quite hold it at 33k. They say the marathon starts at 30. Koga was able to hold with Talan and Kattam. And this trio, they just really start to put their foot on the gas and say, all right, boys, we're going to absolutely roll this. Let's see what you've got. As we see our leading female marathoner, it's Yuki Nakamura, Sashala, and Jeb Kesho. These three worked so well together, and now they just start to really edge away from even some of our best men. Back to the Aussies, and here's Sarah Klein. As we said, she just found this beautiful pacing group. Sarah Klein, tough as nails, was in Budapest last year at those World Championships. She knows how to run. Abby Nordberg, as we mentioned, on her debut. And here's the big move, Kattam, the Kenyan and the Ethiopian. Koga was brave, but once you start to get that fracture, geez, it's hard to hold. A little bit further down the deck here, Tommy DeCanto, he's broken away from Reece Edwards. He's moved away from him, DeCanto. He ran the Ballarat Marathon not too long ago, but here we go now. Sashala, she's trying to look around just to see who can go with her. But out there, up in front, Yuki goes bang! 23-year-old up-and-comer from Japan. She's only run one marathon and it wasn't even close to this speed. If she can somehow hold this pace,
she's looking at a new course record.
And have a look at this. Kattam drops the hammer, the final 200. You would have thought he was at the end of K-Reps. Kattam just made an absolute mockery of him. But geez, they were ready to celebrate these two, the Kenyan and the Ethiopian. And here we go now, it's Yuki. We mentioned she got away from them in the new course record, 2 hours 24, if you don't mind. Buden, DeCanto, Klein. The Aussies were so impressive. You can see them here. Liam Buden, 2:13.56. DeCanto, 2:14, 2:15.13 for Reese Edwards, the man who wanted sub-10. Liam Buden, on debut.
He is your Oceania champion.
Sarah Klein, 2:31. Nordberg on debut, 2:34. Millie Clark, 2:36. And Ringy, 2:36 as well. The might of the Australians matched it with the best of the internationals. Women's course record, Gold Coast Marathon. Where else would you want to be?